If you're running Google search ad in 2024, there's a high chance that you're doing it wrong. And in today's video, I'm going to explain exactly how to target keywords, how to set up your ads, and how to optimize them the best way possible so that you are up to date with today's algorithm and how things work today on Google search, because Google search campaigns have changed a lot in the past few years and are transitioning into a completely new area today. So I spend about $140,000 per month on Google Ads. So as you can see here, this is one account spending about 91 last month of September. And then on this account last month we spent about $40,000. So these are euros, so dollars are a bit more. And then on this account we spent only about 5k last month. And on this one we spent about 16,000 pounds last month, which is around 20,000 US dollars. Before we jump into how to structure actual campaigns, I'm going to explain a bit about why you should structure it in such a way. The match types have changed, and nowadays the broad match has an additional kick to it, and essentially with the broad match keyword, it gives Google's AI prediction the option to show the ads based on the intent of the search and not just the actual words inside of a query. Everything goes back to intent. What matters is what the purpose of the search was, and then it shows the results for that specific search. And why is that important? Because let's say someone was searching for furniture store, and now on exact match, your ad can appear as a result for furniture store or home furnishings shop. So as you can see, exact match is kinda more like phrase match used to be. And then phrase match could appear for cheap furniture stores, living room furniture deals, what store is the best place to find a bedroom dresser. As you can see here, phrase match looks more like a broad match now, and then broad match can be completely a different word that the person would search for, but if the intent was similar, then your ad could appear for that search term. So let's say furniture store, and you can appear for home decor or cream colored leather sectional. So as you can see here, it's a completely different string of words, but it kind of has the same intent behind it. So yesterday I wrote a Twitter post regarding this exact topic, and one of the bullet points or one of the questions that I answered was, what match types should I use? So if your account is new, I recommend mostly exact and phrase match keywords. If you're getting 30 conversions a month or 30 plus, then my recommendation is this: 3 to 5 long tail broad match keywords. So this is the first part. And a long tail means at least 3 words per query. You don't want to go with below 3 because then it's not going to be long tail. And then secondly, you also want to add about 10 exact match keywords, either from the search terms, so for that the campaign actually has to be running already, or from your keyword research, from your keyword planner. So the 3 to 5 long tail broad match keywords are the main targeting option here. It gives Google the intent that you want to go after, and then the exact match keywords help with navigating that search into the right direction, if that makes sense. Knowing that, we can also touch on how to actually structure campaigns. The main question is, am I after profitability or volume? So if I'm after profitability, I would group several ad groups under one campaign. each ad group would target one search team only. Before I explain what the search team is, just remember this part. If I want to go after volume, I would try and max out volume for one search team by only using one ad group per campaign. So to summarize, if I want to work on increasing profitability or having a better control over profitability, I would use several ad groups under one campaign where each ad group targets one search team, and then we allow the algorithm to spend the most amount of money inside of that campaign on that ad group that's delivering you conversions at the lowest possible CPA. And then if I'm after volume, I would just have one ad group under one campaign. And with this, we essentially we put all our eggs in one basket. So what's a search team? So a search team basically gives the ad group the intent behind the whole ad group. So let's say we were trying to promote joggers for men or sweatpants for men, then we could group several keywords inside of that ad group that only try and promote joggers for men. So let's go into our keyword planner. So under tools, we have the keyword planner. Let's say we wanted to sell joggers men. And I always like to go after volume because, we want to scale sooner or later. And if you start without any volume, it's going to be hard to find those impressions later on. So as said before, I'm after 3 words at least for our initial broad match keywords. So let's see. So we have men's track pants. That's a good starting point. We're gonna take this. We're gonna put men's track pants here. Now we go back. Men's jogger sweatpants. And let's try find some more. Like if you were selling actual baggy sweatpants, then I would use this as well, or maybe cargo. So if the collection or product that you were promoting included, baggy or cargo sweatpants, then I would add this as a keyword here. I would add this as a keyword inside the campaign. Let's try one more. And I'm not gonna select any brand names to target because we cannot use the brand name of a different brand in our ad, which will decrease the relevancy of the ad because Google calculates relevancy depending on the keywords you're targeting inside of the ad, then the keywords that you're using in the ad, and the URL of your ad. So, for example, if I would target Nike or Puma in keywords in my ad group, and in the ad I would not have Puma or Nike written, and on my landing page not as well, then the relevancy would drop. And you want to have the better the congruency of the targeting ad and landing page, the higher the relevancy score will be, meaning you'll get lower CPCs, which means you will get higher ROI. So always go after relevancy. And as said, let's say we wanted to select one more. These are branded male. So here I found straight sweatpants, which I like. And then we can also put 100% cotton. And these are my initial broad match keywords. As you can see, all have at least 3 words in the keyword. All are using a bit of a different verbiage, but essentially have the same intent behind it. And it gives me some variability of different words that we can include in the ad, because you don't want the ad to be bland. You want to have some options that will make it more interesting and maybe explain a bit better what the specifics of the product are, and that will help with your click-through rates, your ROI. So let's say these are my initial broad match keywords, and then after this I would add 10 more exact match keywords. For the exact match keywords, you do not have to have long tails, so you could potentially you could also, for exact match, use, let's say, if the product you were selling was green, you could select green here. Let's put green and fast man sweat and so on, and you would add like 10 other exact match keywords. This part is not that important, include it, but the major, I would say, part of the targeting will be the long tail broad match keywords, and this essentially just gives additional signals to Google who to show the ads to. So as you can see, I prefer using broad match as my foundation of the campaign targeting, and then exact match to help further navigate Google into the right direction. I only use phrase match when I'm starting a new ad account and I don't have any data. If I'm getting at least 30 conversions per day, I would stay away from phrase match, because I think it's kind of losing its potency, and I've seen worse results when I included phrase match in my targeting. And I'm also assuming they're slowly gonna get rid of phrase match targeting altogether. Now that we know what we're targeting, let's go into actually creating a search campaign. So when you're in your ad account, you would click plus, and here you can select the campaign types. This is not actually that important, because this doesn't necessarily mean that it will get you more sales than a leads campaign. These are just some recommendations on the settings Google gives you. So I usually go with create campaign without a goals guidance, because this allows me to select all the different options they offer. So usually I go with this, and then we would select search, and then we would select our primary conversion goals. So this is an inactive ad account, so we don't have goals set up. We can go further here, and let's say our website was Nike.com. We would give it a good name, so let's say search, and then let's just say for the sake of today's video that we want to sell men's joggers, and the whole purpose of this whole campaign will be selling men's joggers. So I like to put the campaign objective and then what we're actually promoting inside of that campaign, and then I put my bidding. So in terms of which bidding or optimization you should go for, if your account is new, I recommend manual CPC or max clicks using a bid. if you're getting at least 30 conversions a month, then my recommendations are max conversion value for ecom or max conversions for lead gen. So if you want to generate leads for your service business, then you would optimize for maximize conversions. And if you're in ecom, you would go after maximize conversion value. And that's only after you're already getting at least 30 conversions a month from your ads. Now, if you're in ecom and you have a very static AOV, so let's say you just sell one product at one price, then you might opt into max conversions. Let's say if you want to focus on getting the upfront acquisition cost as low as possible and then have a subscription model behind, then it probably makes sense to go with max conversions. But if you're a regular ecom store that has products ranging from $10 to $300, then I would go with maximize conversion value, because we want to maximize the value of each conversion. Target ROAS or target CPA are basically constraints on these two optimization options, and I only put bids on when I already optimized the campaign and I want to scale it. I see a lot of accounts putting bids on return on ad spend or CPA straight away on a new campaign. It will only limit its learning speed, and it's not gonna help you in the long run. So I always start a new ad account with manual CPC or max clicks with the bid, and then when I get 30 conversions, I go with max conversion value for ecom or max conversion for lead generation. And then if I really want to start being aggressive, I would introduce target ROAS or target CPA. And for the sake of this tutorial, let's say this is a new account, so we will go with manual CPC. And then what I like to put here is my daily budget. So let's say our daily budget was $50. And last but not least, the date of the launch. And then whenever I do a big optimization tweak to the campaign, I would change the name to the date. This way I keep track of when bigger optimizations have been done on a particular campaign. So as said, we're gonna go with clicks, and then we can put a bid on the click. So if it's a new account, it's kind of hard to predict what the click will cost, but let's say we're gonna cap it at $2. Then I never use this because this feature is not where it should be yet. I've been testing it on a few accounts, but it doesn't actually help you focus more on new customers, so would leave this off. So here I'll always remove these two. For locations, always make sure to select this here. Let's say we were targeting Canada. You want to select people in or regularly in your included locations, because this is also just interest. So let's say I'm in Europe. Let's say I was searching for airplane tickets to Canada or Toronto specifically, or hotels in Toronto. I potentially could, be in this group here as well. So make sure to only select people who are actually physically in that location. Then you can leave these two, so you can, for example, if you're just starting from scratch and this doesn't make that much sense, but let's say, you can always add some segments here that you would like to potentially test out. Now, one thing to note here, I usually never go with targeting straight away. So I just go with observation, because it's not going to influence the targeting, which will be done on the keyword level. And when you have, audience segments here that you're observing how they're performing with your ads, this is a really cool feature actually. You can then, do analysis of which of these would potentially bring you conversions, and then you add them later, but in the beginning just go with observation. Now, broad match keywords only, so this which we're gonna have our own, I would say, way of putting. And then here I keep prefer best performing ads as rotation. You put your start and end date. If you have an end date in mind, you can put it here. And then day parting, if you want to run ads throughout the whole day or specific days, like if you're in lead gen, service business, if you only want to appear on Google for Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, you can put those schedules inside. If you're in e-com, you don't have to do that. Then if you're using third-party trackers like Wicked Reports, Triple Whale, and I actually recorded another video regarding Triple Whale for e-commerce and how I use it to scale brands there. And I'm gonna leave the link to that video below this video. You can check it out. And that's pretty much it. You can add brand exclusions or inclusions if you want. And then we go to the next or final step. So this is the asset generator. What I like to do is let it generate the assets and then check which assets I like, and then basically remove it if I don't like it. So first we have these keywords as our broad match keywords. Now we pasted our broad match keywords inside of our targeting. So as you can see, you don't have to add any symbols here. Now for adding the exact match, let's say we only have 2 here, but let's say we add, as I said, at least 10. We would copy this into keywordwrap.com and just wrap keywords. And under exact match, we have them here, and we just copy these and go back and add the rest of the exact matches. So as said before, I would have at least 8 more of exact match keywords. There's no limit to how many you add, because you can add 50, but only a few will actually get any impressions, so you don't have to bother with doing that. So what I prefer doing is having the initial campaign have 3 to 5 broad match long tail keywords, then have 10 exact match keywords, and then just let the campaign run. Because when you start running the campaign, you see what search terms you're appearing for, and then you can optimize the campaign and add new exact match keywords, and more importantly, even add negative keywords to our negative keyword list. So the algorithm has already filled out all these fields for us. And as you can see, our ad strength is 4 because these keywords here are not aligned with the keywords we're targeting. So I'm gonna speed up now and basically create an ad that we're gonna run here. Okay, so now I filled out these fields here with different keywords, and you can see that ad strength improved, and I'm gonna explain each and every one. These up top are from our keywords here. So as you can see, we didn't have green, but 100% cotton sweatpants. We just used 100% made from 100% cotton here because sweatpants have been used several times before, so we don't need to do it again. And how I like to structure my search ads is having the first part of the ad the actual product that we're selling, and then the second part is kind of either a feature or benefit or like unique selling proposition. So let's say we would put all of these on the second position. And then the third position is usually just a call to action or the brand name. So let's say shop limited time discount or shop limited time sale could also be on position 3. So to repeat, on position 1, I like to put the actual keywords that we're targeting. Position 2, benefits, unique selling proposition, or the feature that's very important in the search. So, if you really want to sell only cotton, and if you want to go after that search term, then I would also include the feature on the second position. And then third position, my brand or the CTA. That's kind of the structure I always go after. You can also leave this, to show unpinned, but usually I like to have them pinned in this way, and then I would just observe how the ad performs and then switch it up a bit. Also in my post, I wrote how to write ads that actually convert. To increase relevancy, CTRs, and ROI, you have to match the intent of what people are searching for inside the ad. And we're doing this well in this example because these are the search intents, or this is the search intent, and we're providing the answer to that search intent. Secondly, you want to showcase your USPs and give a compelling reason why someone should choose you over your competitor. We've done that as well. So defiantly durable, temperature regulating. These are kind of the USPs here. You want to include a good offer and CTA. So we have a CTA, and we could also include an offer. We could, for example, instead of this option, we could put shop 50 off day only, and we also want to pin it in the third position. And to give you an idea, so these two will never show the same time, these two will never show at the same time, these will never show at the same time. It's always either this one or this one or this one, and then on this position it could be this one or this one. Again, on the third position it could be this one or this one or this one. So you can repeat, shop limited time sale, because only this will show. Then we have descriptions and images. So for images, I'm not gonna go much into depth here. So you wanna use different types of images showing your product in as many different environments, different people, etc. For descriptions, what I like to use is ChatGPT, and I write, you're a copywriter who is writing Google Ad descriptions for our sweatpants. We wanted to write 10 descriptions up to 90 characters that include different combinations of these keywords. And I just copied from our spreadsheet. I copied these. Whoops, should be this one as well. And we're gonna put them here. And I said 10 descriptions because you want to have a lot to choose from. And here we have, I like this one, so we can put this one as a description. Stay cozy, order here. You can, of course, play with this for the sake of the video. I'm just gonna use some that appear to be okay. And often when I do this, I also find some keywords that then I use as headlines as well. So to give you an idea, top quality, let's say, it's very vague, but let's say we wanted to add top quality as our, USP kind of. And that's pretty much it. Then you would fill out the rest of the ad and launch it. Last but not least, how do you actually optimize a Google search campaign? So I'm gonna keep it very brief in this video because we've talked for a long time now, and I'm just gonna give you like the general guidance here. So you wanna log in every 2 to 3 days and check your 30-day performance and your 7-day performance. I don't recommend doing less than 7 days because Google needs a lot of data to run. This is an ad account that I've been auditing recently, and for example, there's a lot of opportunities here. So let's say they're just running broad match, which is something I wouldn't recommend, but let's say caffeine pen. On the 30-day, it's 0.5. Let's check 7-day. It's still 0. So in this case, I will turn this off. And you want to go through all the keywords that they're targeting and optimize each according to 30-day and 7-day. So why do I check 30 and 7-day? Because if a keyword was added newly to an ad group and in the beginning it wasn't converting well, maybe looking at the 30-day, it performed poorly, but then in the last 7 days, it started converting well. So you don't want to cut a campaign that has, shown promise. And that's why I always like to check both 30 days and 7 days. And then these are just the keywords that we're targeting in the ad group. So what we're actually consciously targeting. Now, the more important part is the search terms. So the search terms are the most important part. Usually I arrange them like advertising spend descending, because we want to spot wasters as soon as possible so that we don't waste too much money. So let's say, again, start with 30 days and we can check, let's say our main metric we're optimizing is ROI. We can also do CPA, let's say, like CPA would be this or ROI would be this. So you need one or the other to select. Let's say we're just optimizing according to CPA and our average CPA is $40. Let's say our CPA was $30. I would leave it up to 2x that amount before I turn it off, because it could spend another cent and it would give you a conversion. So I usually like to leave the search term to spend at least 2x our CPA before turning it off, because you need to give them the opportunity. And what also can happen is if you turn it off too early, later it can start converting really well and you've missed the boat. What you want to do, again, every 2 to 3 days, log into your search terms as well and check what's over or under your CPA. For example, you want to add these to, let's say this one spent $60 and you want to add it as a negative keyword. You could add it as a negative keyword here. And negative keywords also have match types. So this is exact, and it works in the same way as here. Let's say we don't want to target anything that has the word pen inside. You can target as a broad match as well, and then it's not going to show any combination with pen inside. I'm not going to go much into detail here. I'm going to leave this for the next video, but just for the sake of illustration, let's say this is a good keyword for us to target. So caffeine pens, we can add this as a keyword. And because we're using our structure of 4 broad match keywords and then 10 exact match keywords, we would put this as an exact match keyword. So I would go to keywordwrap.com and I would put it as exact match here. Log in every 2 to 3 days, check what's over or under your KPIs, and then either put them on a negative keyword list if it spent, let's say, 2x your CPA, or add it as a targeting option if the search term is giving you favorable results. But make sure to check both. So just checking search keywords is not enough. So search keywords is what you give the algorithm to target, and then the search terms is what you actually appear for. Hope this is valuable. If you need any help scaling your e-com brand with Google or Facebook ads, you'll have a link to my website below this video. You can also message me on Twitter. So my Twitter handle is @MarcosScales. You can DM me there, or you can go to my website and schedule a call there. So thank you, and until next time.